So in this rehearsal video, I'm going to be doing the monologue, which is from the play Antony and Cleopatra, and I'm playing the character Ventidious. Basically, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the feedback that I got from the last video. So the main thing that I got was the facial expression and body language, but I knew that I was going to get that because I worked more on my voice than I did with my facial expression and body language. I wanted to focus on that a lot more so I could get it right and show that I understood the piece. And then also what I got was that the flow and moving from one thought to another isn't as smooth as it really should be. I think that maybe because I'm not as used to this piece as I am to my other classical piece, but I'm going to try and work on that too. So what I'm going to do now is going to do a rehearsal of me reading the monologue. So right now I'm not doing it off script because I want to focus now on my facial expression and body language because I didn't do that in the last rehearsal. Before I do that, I'm just going to try and get into the shoes of my character. I'm going to try and stand in the way I think that they would be standing. So because they're a soldier, I think they have their feet quite planted to the ground, which is what I'm doing now. And then I think these have the shoulders back. And to help me do that, I'm going to have my hands behind my back to start with, but then I'm going to bring them forward, just to as I move on with the piece. And I'm just going to have my hands behind my back to help me keep my shoulders back and help try and have a good posture with it too. Alright. I've done enough. Low place, note well, may make too great an act, for learn this, Silius. Better to leave undone, than by our deed acquire too high a fame, when him we serve away. Caesar and Antony have ever won more in their office than in person. Sosius, one of my place in Syria, his lieutenant, for quick accumulation of his own, which he achieved by the minute, lost his favour. Who does eyes the war more than his own captain, can become his captain's captain. An ambition, the soldier's virtue, rather make a choice of loss than gain which darkens him. I could do more to do Antidius good, but 'twould offend him, and in his offence should my performance perish. So watching that performance back, I found that I was, it was more at the beginning, I was swaying back and forth, and I wasn't really sure what I should do with my hands, which I think I should plan before I actually just start reading it. And I also found that I think I need to speak more from the chest rather than the back of my throat. I think it will make it sound like I'm more in charge than I sounded in the first rehearsal video. And I think back to my hand movement, I think I was doing too much. So I think it would be better if I did just not use my hands at all and just kept them behind my back. I think that would be more effective because he's a soldier, so he wouldn't be using his hands a lot. Alright, so this is, I'm going to do the second rehearsal now of the piece, just reading it. I've done enough. Low place, note well, may make too great an act, for learn this, Silius. Better to leave undone, than by our deed acquire too high fame, when him we serve away. Caesar and Antony have ever won more in their office than person. Circius, one of my plays in Syria, his lieutenant, for quick accumulation of his own, which he achieved by the minute, lost his favour. He does eyes the war more than his captain can become his captain's captain. And ambition the soldier's virtue, rather than make choice of loss than gain which that darkens him. I could do more to do ventidious good, but 'twould offend him, and in his offence should my performance perish.